What up, y'all? It is the O Show. Appreciate you tuning in. Hope your week's going good. It's a nice show. We're keeping it simple. Just doing a couple hours of some pen and paper role playing. Continuing my Labyrinth Lord campaign. '80s style. For King and Country session number 4. Glad y'all are here. Let's get to it.
Oh no, not a handheld tablet, a actual pen and drawing pad that plugs in.
Gentlemen and ladies.
Oh, okay, not like a standalone. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Let's get this thing. Don't watch the stream.
Damn protocol.
You have to keep it open in a tab on your grandma's computer.
I just keep the chat popped out.
Oh, okay, I should do that now.
I just don't cheat.
Ooh.
I just don't cheat.
So we left Darcy, Milas, Reap, and Roland mid dungeon crawl. Do you remember why your characters are here?
To die, right?
Mission accomplished. My character's here for other reasons.
Well, I'm here for a spell book.
No, you're not.
Darcy's
I mean, that's one of your
We're
motivations.
here to look for Joan, guys.
Darcy's looking for Joan.
I think
The rest of the people that were.
After what, like 5 months in this dungeon, she's probably dead.
What are your character's alignments?
That's a good question.
Chaotic
Lawful
good,
neutral.
My character just walked into this party. He has nothing to do with their quest.
Still, what's your character's alignments?
Lawful neutral.
What do you guys, Zeus?
Chaotic neutral, chaotic good.
Who's chaotic good?
Roland.
So the good person, at the very least, would actually care about someone in peril. The lawful neutral people might actually care about someone in peril, depending on their personal codes of ethics.
The strong survive.
So there you go. Your characters are here. Darcy, I guess, is the only one with the quote-unquote obligation. Melis and Roland were hired on. And Reap was investigating these ruins for his own reasons. Do you remember what just happened?
I slit the throats of many rats and then dug around in the dirt.
Sleeping
And
rat.
found some. And I found some mysterious vial of liquid and some well-preserved projectiles.
Arrows.
More importantly, there are walking undead in this labyrinth, of which we have yet to be the lords of, which is freaky.
Right on. Your characters have been exploring this dungeon for about 4.5 hours right now. Your characters need to rest in 2 turns. You're currently in turn by turn. We're not in combat. I have to roll to check for an encounter coming up. Let's try this out. I've got an ambient track going. What about that torch question I had before we fired up the show?
So, I didn't realize to keep track. I wasn't thinking to keep track of when the torches run out. I can tell you when a torch was lit. Probably.
Well, I have the number of turns you guys have been down here.
Yeah, but we
which
might
is
not have had
27.
Did we have a torch the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then.
I mean, I can even be nice and say it cost you 3 torches so far.
I have a torch. I can mark one off my inventory. I have 4 torches, technically.
Okay, the ambient music is very, very low.
Yeah, I can turn it up some. I'd
Who's
just
marking? Who's
rather it
marking
be too
torches?
low than too high.
Only one of us needs them, so Roland has torches and a lantern.
So wait, what? Who's marking torches?
I will.
Okay. I have 4 in my inventory, should Roland want them.
Roland has 10.
Roland is set.
So, what is the current lighting setup?
Roland is carrying one torch that is lit.
Okay. So we can just say for ease of your shit that it's a fresh one. So we're not in combat. I have the SOPs there for your ease.
Yeah, I'm hoping to.
So, what are your characters doing in turn 28 of their being down in the forest ruin, searching for clues as to whereabouts of Joan, as well as searching for treasure and earning heroic experience points in their own right?
Well, it was 2 turns till we needed to rest, so
Right.
Reap would suggest that we, after just having killed and dispatched these rats, should set up in here and take a little rest. There's a convenient chair over there.
Gotta be careful with these chairs, though. You might want to check it for traps.
This was like, the rotting chair over there was like, basically junk. Barely holding
He can
itself
sit on
together.
whatever chairs he wants. Darcy will sit on the floor.
Indeed. Well, I'm gonna go sit right over here. That was a chair, right?
No, that was like a bookcase.
Oh,
This is
well,
the
I'm sitting on the
chair.
bookcase now.
Hold on one second. Let me grab my dice. Alright. I just devoured 20 chicken nuggets in like seconds. I actually gotta check something this turn as well. You're good. So you're deciding to rest on turn 28?
Yes.
Yes.
This is turn 27, though, to be fair.
So we're on turn 27? Is that what we're saying? Okay.
Yeah, turn 27 is lighting a torch and resting.
Okay. That means you gotta rest in 5 turns now. Okay. Got it. What about the next turn?
I want to check
Reap
out.
down the bookcase. And forget his movement range, damn it.
I'm gonna change.
Okay, yeah, I remembered it was really low. 30. Okay. Reap's moving into here then.
Is Reap going to check out what's through that little door?
Oops, that was drawn.
It's all good. I think you can select it and delete it. Does Reap inform anybody what he's doing, or does he just barge in there?
Stops down. Oh, I thought that was an open door.
I mean, it is, but you guys, it's like a line of sight situation. You can't see around that corner unless you bring the light over there. If you want to use your infravision, you got to get out of the light.
No, I just get up and walk over there.
All right. Seems like Roland waddles along behind you. I'll reveal some more here.
I'm greatly anticipating my dynamic lighting when that comes along. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I know there's some stuff I'll have to set up, like I have to define what should cast a shadow and whatever, but I think it'll be worth
I
it.
used to you just have to trace over the walls and stuff with the object.
I think so, yeah.
What did you use to generate this dungeon map?
I could link it to you later on. It's I don't even remember what it's called, but I love it. All these different pieces that artists submitted.
Was it Donjon or was it a different site?
Different set.
Okay.
Did that appear for you guys? Should have, right?
Yes.
Your flickering torchlight, well, Roland's to be specific, as he presumably timidly walks in, reveals. You can kind of imagine in your mind's eye. Keep in mind you're exploring ancient collapsed ruins, so there's debris and crumbling shit everywhere. That's kind of the general debris, but aside from that, there's nothing really of note down this corridor except where you can see it continues around a couple corners.
Is this door that Darcy's standing in front of open, closed?
That is an open doorway. How far is your infravision?
That's a good question.
I think you had it set up before with one of your auras.
Did. Whoa.
Is that it?
Yep,
It might
60
be.
feet.
Because it's double than a torch. So you can see the entire chamber as far as walls and stuff. So let me go ahead and reveal that to you. Did that appear?
Mm-hmm.
And as far as what you can see, okay, let me grab a paintbrush. These are 5-foot squares, right?
Yes.
Yep.
I'm just drawing these for now, because, again, I don't have the pro yet, and I don't want to sit there and dig through all the shitty tokens, but when I get pro, it'll be nice to know that I go in there, look for a token, and there'll be a good one. So if I want to put, like, a barrel or an altar or whatever, I think that'll be a big value of it. Yeah. Alright, so Darcy, outside of the torchlight, and by the way, for maybe anyone who has no idea, this is our 1980s style campaign. The party is currently exploring their first dungeon, and for the players, this is their first old school experience too, I believe, as well. The party right now is Darcy is an elf fighter, Milas is an elf, Roland is a human magic user, and Reap is a half-orc fighter, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So Darcy, her improvision reveals to her the layout of the room. She can also see that there appears to be a torture rack along the northern wall with some sort of mutilated corpse on it. Somewhat long decayed. You're no expert. You'd have no real idea how long. There's also a barrel over in that eastern corner. And you can see a old, broken down, dilapidated loom standing by that southern wall, right by the 13 on there.
Darcy would also like to check for traps.
So this turn you're moving and then checking for traps?
Yeah, and I just want to check like the door or the area just on the floor just outside the door.
Okay, so you get a roll, right? You remember how all that works?
I roll a d6. And if I get a 1, I find something if there's anything there to find.
Right.
Got a 2.
I thought I had the 3D dice turned on. Oh, maybe you don't. Maybe you have to turn it on.
No, I don't like the 3D dice.
Yeah. Alright, so you assume that there's no trap there.
Mm-hmm.
But just to double check, just so in case anyone's trying to learn the rules, when you're searching for traps in Labyrinth Lord, your average Joe can detect a trap on a roll of 1 on 1d6. Dwarves are a little bit better at it, and thieves are particularly good at it. The other thing to keep in mind about traps is doing the thing that could trigger the trap doesn't necessarily always do it. So you can do something that might trigger a trap, but it doesn't when you do it at a particular moment, if that makes sense. So if there's like a pressure plate and you step on it, I roll, and then if I get a 1 or 2, it goes off. Otherwise, you're safe. Does that make sense? Anyhow, did y'all, Milas, Roland, Reap, all move to as far as you can move?
Yes.
And During your turn, you can move. You can also search for traps or search for secrets. Did any of that go on?
Roland's going to be looking along the ceiling for more of that gnomish writing that he had seen and see if he can see anything along the walls with the torchlight. Milas isn't in the room yet, so.
Gotcha. So you're not actually doing the move, look for secrets or whatever?
Would that be looking for secrets?
Yeah, you can. How that works,
It's the, what is it, 10 by 10 area you search?
yeah, 4 squares essentially. You have to be specifically looking. And then, of course, I always roll. So what squares were you searching there, Roland?
Just right here in the inner part of this room.
Okay. Roland does not appear to find any secrets with his prodding. So is that gonna move us into
We're on turn 29.
Yep, turn 29. Gotta rest in 4 turns. Okay. So what's going on in turn 29 as you explore the dungeon?
Reap notices that the pointy-eared silly one has walked off out of the light.
Well, before Reap comes running after her,
I'm not
Darcy's
gonna run
gonna.
Remember, your
Darcy's-
turns are 10 minutes long too, so there's plenty of time to conversate and bullshit with each other
Yeah.
too.
Darcy's gonna light a torch and see if there's anything undead in there that she couldn't see with her infravision, with her elf eyes.
Okay. Maybe I can go ahead and describe to you the results of that, because that takes just a moment. Just be sure you're tracking the duration on the torch.
Okay. I was gonna make another little aura here. How's that work for you?
No, I mean that's the duration of it burning.
And she's
No, I
making
will.
notes.
I'll keep count. I'll keep track of it.
That's all I meant.
Yeah, I will.
I feel like Roland's red just got less red.
What are you trying to say?
And make
Your
mine.
aura seems less red now.
Your torchlight reveals no new beings
new?
or anything like that. There's no writing. There's nothing. Nah.
Then Darcy's gonna move. Hold on.
What do you see over there?
You weren't actually on mic when you said that.
Oh, my Discord sucks. I was saying, I see a dead body. It might be Joan. She's gonna pop in there and just make sure there's nothing creeping in the corner.
Well, don't go running off on your own now.
As Darcy gets closer, she sees that it's a mutilated corpse of an elf. There's a rotten wicker basket sitting on the torture rack next to the elf. There also appears to be a wooden blood-spattered club laying on the torture rack, presumably used on the elf. And in the torchlight you can see something metal glinting hanging around the elf's neck.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, Darcy can move 2 more squares, so she's gonna pop up right here. Can I still check for traps, or is lighting a torch?
No, you
My
can still
action
check for
item.
traps.
Alright, she wants to check this elf's dead body or the torture rack for traps.
I'll actually roll it. Does not appear to be trapped.
Okay.
When you get close, you recognize this that the elf has around his neck. It's not tarnished, surprisingly, but that could be just due to the fact that it appears to be a small silver holy symbol, the same that Zinvin had. I don't remember all the details on his.
I had 2 different ones.
It's a hammer pendant.
Okay.
And you have a link to that, don't you?
Yep.
So I don't know how much your character would know about elf gods, but it's
Well, she's an
it's a
elf.
symbol of. You might know that it's a symbol of Vandria Gilmadrith, but you may not know what that's about or anything. It's a bummer that Zinvin didn't discover that. Now he's dead. Well, it seems like Darcy used up her whole turn. What are you lads up to?
Roland's gonna
Well, I'm
move.
discussing with Roland and Milas about which way we should go next, since it seems to be a branching pathway.
And I know it's a little weird in old school versus Dungeon World, but feel free to like go deep on role playing your characters out and giving them like attitude or whatever. Just because we're super crunch doesn't mean like that's all we have to focus on, if that makes any sense. Do as much as you like, but don't feel like you can't, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Roland would suggest to make sure this room doesn't have anything in it that's going to ambush us as we go further in. So he's going to be pushing down a few squares with enough to retreat in case he finds something.
Is this Roland's first time delving into some ruins in search of riches?
Oh yeah, he was a farm boy before, I believe.
Nice.
Yes, he was a farmer before.
What about Darcy? Was she, is this her first time delving for some riches, or is she...
This is her first major,
Is it the first time all your characters have encountered the foul undead?
definitely.
Yes.
Yep.
Same thing for Reap. This is Reap's whole thing. He wanted to hunt something that could fight back instead of animals.
That was his whole reason for becoming an adventurer.
So when he saw a bunch of rats, he was like, "Fuck, more
And then they were
animals."
all put to sleep. And he was like, oh, "Come on, it's
I'm
not
just
even a
gutting these for
challenge."
dinner now. Jeez. All right.
Yeah, that's why he complained when we put him to sleep.
So Roland, yeah, go ahead and do your movements and everything. Do I need to make any rolls for searching or listening?
Roland's gonna look for secrets in the area he's in right now.
Them 4 squares along the right side there,
Yeah.
just behind the Iron Maiden. Okay. So you're searching for secret doors there?
Yep.
And Roland's doing it?
Yes.
Okay. Doesn't appear to be any secrets, because Milas is a little better at it, right?
I think they're about the same.
I think elves have a bone.
Elves. Yeah, elves can find a secret door on a 1 or a 2.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is at the edge of the torchlight right now, where my arrow extends into the room.
It's more that just if you can imagine a torch, like if it was outside of a doorway like that, it would be casting shadows into the room. And if you wanted to see through a narrowing like that, you'd kind of actually have to take the torch up to it. Does that make sense?
Well, I was gonna walk out of the torchlight to see into this room.
Okay, you'd have to
That's
get
what I'm
all
trying
the
to figure out if I
way.
need If that's as far as I need to move, or I need to move one more square.
I'd give that halfie to you.
That's why I'm saying I can't see it, so I don't know how much in the circle I am.
The one you're currently pointing at, I would give to you.
Okay, well, that's half my movement, so I'm gonna step into that room. In the shadows I go.
Oh God.
It's alright, it's only half my movement. I'll go back if need be. I
Just
just want to see the
then
layout
I
of this
never
room, if it's
reveal
gonna be
it
another
again.
closet. And the character sheet's just deleted.
Whoops. Hold on. Something went awry here. You got like a triangle revealed. There you go. I don't even know how I made that triangle, to be fair. Well, there could be a bit of a problem with this. And that's the fact that there's an encounter in here. Did you use up all your movement for Melis and Roland?
I did not. I was waiting to see if there was something
Okay.
that gets revealed. As
Well, Reap's probably gonna holler here, so let me go ahead and I guess the way we'll play this out is
Reap struts into the room.
no, I think we would jump immediately into rounds now, right? I think that's what we would do. So let me get a counter over here going on my side.
Is there
All right.
something to reveal?
Little closets equal encounters.
Yeah, I'll reveal yours too.
Okay. And the encounter.
It's just they're both encounters, so no, there's not.
Pincer move. Fighting undead Sun Tzu.
Yeah, I've been going out of my way to not play undead as intelligent. I pretty much just play them. They attempt to get to the closest thing and eat
Side
it.
note, I am drinking a Zombie Dust by Three Floyds.
Ooh, what is that?
It's a IPA, but it's super rare. It's
Yeah, where is that from? Three Floyds.
they're in northern Indiana.
Is it delicious?
Cannot
is.
confirm.
There you go. That's what your light revealed. Anyhow. Reap can see with his infravision.
What are rats?
There's rats, yeah, for sure, but
Cranium rats
let's see.
and flail snails.
See, we can't get into the weird shit unless I wind up running a For Golden Glory like Spelljammer game or something. Can fight flumps.
Dilbogs.
So Reap can see a wooden shelf hanging off the northern wall, kind of at an angle. Seems like maybe everything on it slid down to the general debris in the ground, the rat's nest. I assume Reap is smart enough to check the corners to his right and left, right, when he comes in a room on some Counter-Strike
like I
shit.
said, that's what he was like walking into
Okay.
the doorway, basically.
So he sees right here on the southern wall. Oop, that went farther. I meant. Oh well. Just trying to show that it's curved. There's a brass shield, very tarnished, hanging on the southern wall. And inside of here are Reap can make out 4 more of the giant rats like he saw in the adjacent chamber. And I'll just do R's here.
Wow.
Why is this not sticking to the grid like it's supposed to? I'm sure I can find a
Giant
rat, actually. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can find a rat. I don't want a bajillion rats, I just want one. Oh, here we go. There's a rat. Did it go?
Oh, cute.
Where's that?
Is that? It's in the Darcy's edge of Darcy's light in the hallway. It's super tiny.
I can't even see it.
I'll ping it. There it is.
What the fuck?
Reap's no longer scared.
Give me a giant rat.
Well, can't you resize that or no?
Well, that was like the size it is in the little, Oh, there's beautiful premium assets that I could use if I was pro. Alright, let me see what I can find here.
Buy
What's
it
that?
right now.
Oh, I will, don't worry. Don't worry, it's not really a dire rat, but that's what we're gonna have to use. Alright, that one's there. Okay. These look terrible, but whatever.
They're like mutant giant rats.
Yeah, you get the point. There's actually this lame thing that they added in 3rd edition, I think it was. Dire versions of stuff, which I guess means an animal that has like weird little bone plates growing out of it. But I digress. Let me get this encounter rolling here. Okay. Okay. Can you see the bar on them or no?
No.
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 Good. Just for daddy. Alright. So yeah, Reap enters the edge of the firelight. He looks using his infravision and can quickly and easily see the heat coming from the 4 large, dog-sized, disgusting rats crawling about the detritus in the room, as well as the other things I noted that he noticed, like the brash tarnished shield hanging from the southern wall and the wooden shelf hanging off the northern wall. But remember, it's infravision, so anything written, any type of colors or things like that, details, can't really make it out. So I guess the way we'll do it is, yeah, we're gonna be immediately in combat, basically. You guys rolling initiative? There you go. I like rolling my physical dice, so I'll roll mine's over here.
Roland's the one.
Alright, so can't remember. Its highest goes first, right?
The side with the highest result in the 1d6 acts first of that round.
And we'll just do the rats as one side instead of doing them individually. So that looks like it's gonna be Milos, and then I'm doing a little setup here so I can put the initiative order. Darcy, then it'll be
No, it'll be Reap and then Darcy.
what?
Darcy rolled a 5.
Never mind.
All right. Is that one for Roland?
Yes.
All right. So I have Milos going first, and if you check the SOP, it'll remind you the order the turns go, which is oh, we forgot to check for surprise. Let's check that real quick. Who's rolling for your side? Go ahead and roll.
I guess I will since I walked into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're actually going to get a surprise round on the rats so that they haven't noticed you yet. Maybe because you didn't bring the torch in there. So the first thing to do with your initiative is to declare your action. Remember, we should have done that first, but let's go ahead and do it now.
Does Milos have line of sight from where he is for a bow shot on that left rat?
No.
Yeah, that's on the other side of the wall, boy.
Well, I mean, you could see it through the door.
Woo!
He's gonna move and shoot.
He's going to pull a wanted, curve the arrow,
That's the arrow path right there.
Yeah.
move and shoot. All right.
He's a magic user. He could do that.
What about rolling?
Roland is going to probably just move.
Make sure y'all keeping track of your torch durations. What about Darcy?
Move.
What about Reap?
Move and attack.
All right, so Milos is gonna get to go first, and it goes movements. So do your movements. Then any missile attack rolls.
He will take a missile attack roll on the one on the farthest right.
I think there's a minimum range.
There is.
They have to be more than 5 feet apart. Opponents have to be more than 5 feet apart. So you can't missile right there. But you could shoot at somebody else, yeah.
Yeah, he's going for that one.
Cool, you just gotta have a space in between. So do your missile attack roll. There's no cover, and make sure you're adjusting appropriately for your dex and your range.
Dex and range bonus. Reet notices that Milos got really close.
Reap didn't notice shit yet.
Range would be +1, correct?
What type of weapon are you using?
It's a short bow.
So short bow gets a +1 inside of 50 feet. And I'll just tell you to make it easy, you're up against AC 7.
Doesn't Milos have a dex bonus? I would think so.
Milos does not have a dex bonus.
What kind of an elf is this?
Looks like he's still hit, right? I'll roll to see if you lose that arrow. Nope. About that damage. There it is. You successfully kill the giant rat with your first shot.
Beautiful.
I was thinking about this a little bit earlier because of how the ranges are different for wilderness versus dungeon. And dungeon archery would be like a totally different thing because of how the ranges are, you know? It'd be almost like... It'd almost be like point firing a gun versus like putting it up to your shoulder and shooting, you know what I mean?
Like your close quarters 3-gun shooting versus target shooting.
Yo, what up, Globe? I just now saw you said, hey, man, what's good? Thanks for tuning in. Do you want to describe it in a cool way, or is it pretty simple? Does Milos do anything in particular?
He just peeks through the doorway, sees him, and picks one off with an expert shot.
So this is just an elf doing elf shit. Epitomizing the elf. No spells, no saving throws, no melee combat. Then we're gonna move on to Darcy.
I have a feeling that my movement is going to be, like I'm not going to make it there in time.
You can sprint. That's a thing.
Oh, yeah. If I sprint, how far can I move?
I bet you can figure it out. I'm gonna smoke a bowl real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking. The word sprint is not found.
Try dash.
Or you could look up running. That's what I would look up. Does that find you some stuff?
Faces in the labyrinth.
That's not quite
That's
it.
not it.
What book are you trying to look in?
I'm in the core
Basic.
game.
Because under time and movement, it says running is the full character speed, 120 feet, and it's traveled in 1 round.
But I'm encumbered, so I could probably just move my encumbrance, which would be 30.
How much stuff are you carrying?
I am carrying like 150 something pounds.
God damn!
Well, she's carrying all her stuff with her. She doesn't have nothing on the donkey.
Well then, yeah, I mean, you'd be running at 30 per round.
I mean, that's better than 2.
There's also a limit to how much you can run. I can't remember exactly
Right.
where that's at. Do you remember where that's at?
No, but I can look that up next. Let me just move my little ink.
I mean, obviously you can run once, but... I think it might be actually in the combat section about running. Yeah, you can only run for 30 rounds straight. And after you run, you have to rest for 3 turns afterward.
After any amount of running?
That's what it reads like.
Alright. Darcy's done.
Did you run?
Yep, I ran.
So remember you have to rest for 3 turns afterward. To recover. So you might as well keep on running.
Might as well.
So that was the movement part of your turn. No missile attacks, no spells or saving throws to make, and no melee combat, eh? Yes?
Yes.
So then it's gonna be Reap and the rats at the same time. What is Reap gonna do? We'll do it step by step. We got movement.
Yeah, we were moving simultaneously.
Yeah.
Do they move if they're surprised?
Oh, I forgot you guys have a surprise round. Thanks for reminding me. So the rats aren't gonna do shit. You get a free turn against them, basically.
I'm there. And then Reap has already had his sword and shield drawn from combat in the previous room. He steps over to his right and he swings across his body to the right, attempting to hit this rat that he spotted as he walks in the door.
Believe that's gonna hit versus AC 7. You guys have rolled a 18 and a 19 as your attack rolls so far. That was definitely smooshed as well.
So as he comes across, as he steps to the right, kind of cleaves this rat in half as it looks up at him in surprise.
Little head like reaches up 1 second, it's like and then you just By the way, Bean, so far that is 12 experience, 6 per rat.
Okay.
I think it's just Roland left, right?
Roland's just gonna move.
Nice, a movement.
That's about all he's got.
So the fact that Roland brings the torch in, that rats realize that there's people there.
There you go.
There you go, yeah.
Verisimilitude.
So let's do initiative for round 2.
Round 2. Everyone rolls a 2.
Well, we're rolling it.
Oh my god.
Fucking it up, Roland.
What did the rats get?
Let's see. Guess you'll find out, right?
I just want to know if it's a 2.
No.
Okay.
It's gonna be rolling first. So movement. Well, first, before we do anything, everybody declare what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. Move and attack.
Milas will move and shoot. Can Roland shoot past Milas?
No.
No, because he's even holding the torch. So Roland's just going to move.
Roland's going to shoot the torch.
Darcy's running.
All right. So
And
now
at this time is whenever Reap yells, "There's rats in here."
rolling. Movement.
Roland's just going to move.
No missile attacks. No spells or saving throws. No melee combat. Right.
Right.
So now we got the rats. Okay, they got plenty of movement. They begin scurrying their way over through the debris. So that was their movement. And then they don't have anything else all the way down to melee combat. What is your armor class? Reap and Milas.
Armor class 3.
5.
Alright. The one on Milas misses. The one on Reap hits. For 3 damage. And I gotta roll a percentile real quick. Okay. Did you take that 3 damage, Reap?
Yes.
So 2 rats scurry forth. Again, imagine rats the size of like a dog. Both try to sink their teeth into Milas and Reap respectively. What type of armor does Milas have?
Chainmail.
So I'll say that the teeth kind of drag and get caught in the links. What about Reap?
A banded mail and a shield.
Reap just gets unlucky. It gets in. Probably bites him on the sword hand or something. Is he using a sword?
Longsword.
Nice. And then we got Reap, Darcy, and Milas all going at the same time. So first movement.
Milas is going to backstep a little bit.
How that works is you got to move 50%. So I'm sure that you did, right?
Yeah.
You're still running, Darcy?
Yep.
Okay. About Reap. Any movement?
Reap stands his ground.
Okay, so then it goes down to missile attacks.
Milas is gonna missile attack the one that tried to attack him.
Go for it.
With an aggressive 12.
Roland technically rolled it, but we'll take it. You're up against AC 7. Do you hit?
Let's see. AC 7, and it's a 13, yes. Right?
Do you tell me?
Yes.
7 should be to beat 12.
Yep.
Bang.
Okay, your ammo's okay, and that one is also smushed. Is that all one swift movement, backpedaling, and just...
Yeah, it's even one of those cool spin moves, you know?
some Legolas action? Showing the true elf nature. We got... spells or saving throws. Melee combat. I know Reap's gonna do some melee, right?
After being bit by this rat, as you said, it hit him in the hand, so he kind of.
And it was the one that bit you, yeah.
As it falls back to the ground, he lunges forward and tries to thrust through its body, its chest. Look at that 3D dice. That is not a 5.
It looks like it landed in between.
Landed up next to a book. I think that's a miss. I think we're in round 3. I think you should declare actions.
Darcy's resting.
Milas and Roland will move. Milas will shoot.
Reap.
Reap will parry. Or prepare a parry.
And that is in the AEC, if you're curious, under the combat options, under new rules. You can forgo your attack to instead get your strength bonus to hit applied as a penalty to the attacker's hit roll. If you're parrying, you can also only move half. Roll some initiatives. Alright, so Milas and Roland go simultaneously first. So it's movement. Then,
So the torches are 6 turns, so this...
You're
doesn't
still
count
good.
as a turn, right?
No.
yeah, rounds, it takes, a round is 10 seconds and a turn is 10 minutes.
Roland's moving all over the place.
You said Roland was doing what this turn?
He was moving.
I think Roland should have attacked with the torch.
That's movement. What about missile attacks?
I didn't realize that the room was so tiny. I think I'm just going to do a melee attack with Milas.
Okay, so we got spells and saving throws, and then we're down to melee. So you drop your bow, pull out your blade
And miss.
and miss. Makes sense. You're all in a kerfuffle. Now it's Reap.
After lunging forward and missing the rat in its chest, Reap instinctively falls back to his space and puts up his shield and sword, sitting on top of the shield, ready to swat back this rat.
So, no movement, no missile, no spells or saving throws, just pure, beautiful melee. Or wait, no, you're parrying. So, that's it, right?
Yep.
So it's Darcy.
Darcy pants.
Alright. Rat time. So what penalty am I applying to my to hit roll here? Reap.
A 1.
Okay. And your armor class is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I have to roll pretty low odds here. You successfully parry the rat's attempt to bite you. What does it look like?
So like I said, he falls back into his position and puts his sword on top of his shield, ready to swat back the attack. The rat lunges at him again, and this time he kind of hits it with the flat of his blade and throws it off to the right.
Alright. Round 4, what are your actions?
Meatless and Roland are both going to melee attack.
Reap is in an attack.
Darcy's resting.
Alright. Roll them. Okay. So, Reap's going first. And it sounds like he just wants to go right down to melee attack.
Yep. I just did a little search, but I don't see anything about flanking.
Yeah, I don't think there's any flanking in Labyrinth Wood.
Okay, just making sure.
That would probably be more like for Gold and Glory, like an example of something that might add. I haven't read it though yet.
After slapping this rat with the flat of his blade and shoving it off, he then rolls the blade over and attempts to cut it as he's continuing to throw it off.
Believe that hits. Does that hit?
That does.
Roll that damage. And smush-elated.
You exploded the rat.
And so as he kind of throws it off and he instinctively rolls his blade to the blade, he cuts that rat in half as he continues to fling it across the room.
Now that there's torchlight, by the way, you notice that there's some dried blood on the northwest end of the ceiling. And you added a little bit more to that just now. Those were worth 6 XP apiece.
24 total XP.
And I
Hooray.
assume you're probably going to look around for some treasure. Momentarily.
Not before cursing these rats.
But that will take us out of combat time.
I have a timekeeping question about that.
Yeah.
So, in this example, we started the turn on turn 29. Once we went into combat rounds, does that overlap with turn 29, or does that
Not
start-
really.
Is that within a new turn?
Because it was only 40 seconds of combat.
Right, so that's why I'm wondering, what turn are we on now? 30 or 31? Does that question make sense?
We're going to be on turn 30. Because this combat took place, if you can probably imagine, around the end of turn 29.
Got it.
So that means we're going to be on turn 30, and you're going to need to rest in 3 turns. But we'll be out of combat now. And... okay. Had to check something, but you're good. And again, turns are 10 minutes, right? So turn 30 is going to be 10 minutes after that. Brief, intense. Imagine that. 40 seconds. Bam. Shwa, shwa, ah. And then it's over. You're going through this like dank, deep dungeon, you know, looking around, and then you all of a sudden you fight him. But it's only 40 seconds. Over. Heart's racing, calming down. But turn 30, what's going on? You know, feel free to RP, what have you.
Darcy pants. Guys, I found a dead body.
We made dead bodies.
Yeah, there's 4 more dead bodies right here.
I mean, a dead elf body.
And it seems like it'll work out that Darcy will need to rest basically all the way until the rest of the party needs to rest again, and then at that point you'll basically be all on the same page.
Do you mean I need to rest this turn?
This turn and the next 2.
I thought you had to rest 3 rounds, which would be 30 seconds.
Did it say rounds? I'm pretty sure it said turns. Let's double check.
Was that under combat?
This kind of movement is exhausting, and the characters will have to rest for 3 turns afterward.
Dang. So I sprinted for 20 seconds and I have to wait 30 minutes?
You sprinted.
Rest?
You sprinted through a dungeon for 20 seconds, carrying 100 and what?
150 pounds.
Do you want to have me load you up with 150, then have you sprint for 20 seconds and see how long you're tired?
I'm just saying. Dang. Alright, I'm resting. That wasn't worth it then. I thought it was 3 rounds.
You only weigh 85 pounds.
That's like making a child carry me and sprint for 20 seconds, and you're like, why are you so tired?
That totally wasn't worth it. Oh well.
Live and learn.
Darcy heard commotion. She's like, "Oh shit!" And then when she gets there, like, "What are you doing?"
You're like leaning up against the wall, trying to get your breath.
She has to play it off like she totally meant to do that, so she's acting like she's surprised she's seen a dead body.
Keep going.
Reap curses the rat that got a nibble of him, and he puts his boot through its head to make sure it's dead. Slimy.
Basically, the structure of this is do as much like swag lore as you'd like. Keep in mind it's 10 minutes, but also work in like what, move or whatever you're doing too.
Milas and Roland are going to be looking for any kind of loot in the area. Roland will take the right wall. Neelis will take the left. They'll just kind of circle the whole room since they have enough movement to do that.
Well, as far as just like searching a room for loot, if you're not like looking for like a specific trap or a secret, then I could let you just look around that whole little closet, so to speak.
Okay.
But I feel like Reap might try to beat you to it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, Reap's already fucking squashing one of these rats, and I'm assuming they're in their nest since it's in the middle of the room.
Yeah, I'm sure there's baby rats for you to stomp.
It's fucked up, Reap.
He bit me. What do you want from me?
It's good. We
These
just
things
have
are
to make sure
filthy.
Reap takes some damage in a
So,
combat.
but is Reap going to be doing that for 10 minutes?
Yes.
I think Reap would.
Have you guys thought about how you're going to heal it all, by the way?
I have this magic goop.
You might have
That
to
may kill me.
You might have to go back to Porthy and hire somebody. I mean, it's really however you want to do it strategically, but
Well, Reap does need to discuss this because he is cursing his injury.
we'll talk about it. You got 10 minutes. Feel
Well,
free
he's not gonna
to
stop stomping
roleplay
his
in the
rats,
role-playing game. I'll reveal what the treasure search comes up with in a little bit. But
Well, while he's
mechanically,
there,
Darcy has to rest on turn 30, and Melis and Roland are searching through the detritus for... Now, you're just looking through, like, the ground and, like, where the rat's little nest was, right? You're not specifically searching anything else?
I would think Melis would be checking the walls for any kind of secrets.
So do you want to roll for secret doors on that 4 on that left side, and then Roland the 4 on the right side?
Right.
Yeah. Right on. And what is Reap gonna do mechanically this turn?
curse and stop.
Do you like how do your characters role play? Darcy already did a bit. She ran in saying, "I found a dead body," and she's like panning up against the wall because she just carried 1.5 times her body weight in a dead sprint. What are your characters doing? We know what Reap's doing as far as lore. He's angrily shouting that one of them bit him, and he's stomping on their heads. How are Melis and Roland reacting? Roland's carrying the torch.
I think they're going to be pretty wordless about it. I mean, we've seen dead bodies animated before. It's no big surprise to see a dead body in a dungeon. So they're just going to be searching and seeing if they find anything of interest before they pop out and then discuss.
I like this scene. Darcy runs in, dead body, and then people like completely ignore
Shut
her.
up, loot.
Whatever. And she's technically the leader, right? Alright,
Nah, she's not the leader.
let's see if you get anything good. Do you want something good? Do you feel the power of the dice at all, or?
There's bandages in these.
The two people with full health get them.
Oh, Reap would forcefully bargain.
I'm rolling it right now. Let's see. Alright. I gotta roll some percentiles here. That's gonna be nope on that one. That's gonna be a nope on that one. Starting to look grim.
Whose nopes were they?
This is treasure nopes.
Well, somebody's looking for the treasure note.
Ooh, that was almost awesome. It's still decent, but
Whose role was that, though?
what do you mean whose roll?
You said that we get to search the room, yeah?
I'm rolling the treasure that the rats had.
Oh, then Reap clearly found it.
No.
Reap wasn't looking for it. Reap was stomping.
It could have been on the rat's belly.
I mean, I'll roll a die of fate, alright? Let's see.
Yes.
At least I gave you the option, but no. But I like at least rolling the die of fate for it. Speaking of the die of fate, let me roll this. Oh, now the one comes up when you guys would want it. Okay. Sorry, it's taking me a little bit to roll this.
The one's for the first person to enter the room.
Alright. We'll say Melis finds it.
Wait.
Actually, no. You guys both decided to search for secret doors in the end. So Reap does find something.
Yes.
He's stomping on a rat, which was actually already deceased, but he's kind of in a rage now. And he when he stomps on this rat's head, he realizes that the rat actually died choking to death on a gem that it was trying to eat. That makes sense?
So when he steps on his head, it kind of spits it out. Blah.
Yeah. And I don't have a good gem generator off top. So let's say it's a aquamarine. That's a gem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not faceted or anything. It's pretty rough cut. And it's worth 75 GP.
So how much XP would that be?
So how the XP works when you guys are getting treasure, I was asking Bean if she was keeping track of this too, because it is important. Anytime you guys find treasure in the world of a non-magical variety, whether it's gems, coins, art, whatever, you also get XP equal to 1 XP per 1 gold. So the 75 gold aquamarine is like 75 XP. And that all goes toward the bucket that gets split up when we hit a good point.
Do all gems, I guess, have the same weight in this case?
Yeah, I think gem would probably weigh. They're good because they don't weigh as much. I don't remember how much it weighs off top. I don't think there's gems or anything in the equipment section, right? Let's ask the internet. Labyrinth.
Well, you said it's aquamarine, so let's go off of that.
Lord, how much do gems weigh? It's a good question.
A standard coin weighs 1/10 of a pound, according to the book.
It seems like the consensus and what I was thinking as well is to essentially make gems weightless.
Oh, okay.
That way, because if you really think about it, a gem would be pretty much weightless, right? And it also, gems are a huge thing in old school because it's a way to carry around a lot of money at one time. Like, as adventurers, you know, when you start to have a bankroll, it gets wise to start investing it in buildings or, you know, gems set into the pommel of your sword or things that can't be easily stolen or more viable. You know, you don't want to be hauling around 100,000 gold coins in a wagon all the time. Maybe you do.
Very ostentatious person.
The traveling bank.
Do you remember how much XP? I'm sorry, how much gold or XP really? The arrows and that little gray vial you found were?
Yeah, they're both marked in my bio.
So,
Well,
magical items, which you probably assume those both are a potion, obviously. Though that's the one thing that it doesn't count as far as
okay. Well, that's why I didn't mark it.
because
then.
they're
Never
considered
mind.
priceless.
But I was given a price on them, so
Now they didn't add that bullshit until like 3rd edition. Like, oh, I'll just go to the Magic Walmart and I got about 200,000 coins, so I'll pick up a bag of holding. You know. Anyway, that was turn 30, and that was the loot that you found. And the results of the secret door roll was nada.
I'm just gonna stop searching for secret doors.
That's the trick. You're like, oh, I'm just not gonna search, and that's when you don't find it. I will tell you, there's definitely a secret door on this dungeon. There's also definitely a trap. Those two things 100% are in here somewhere. Before you get
There's also,
discouraged.
20 rooms in the dungeon, so I think
There's more than 20.
Yeah.
And this is a small dungeon. That's one of the coolest things they did, I feel like, in 2nd edition, is they gave elves the ability to passively search. So if you have an elf in your party, it's awesome. That was turn 30, right? So we're moving into turn 31.
Yep.
Means you gotta rest in 2 turns. And Darcy's still resting. I remember. Okay. What's going on, gentlemen, while Darcy is sitting down, leaning up against the wall, dabbing sweat off her beautiful elven brow?
well, Darcy's not in the room, and these two fools are looking at the wall. So Reap just picks up the gem and puts it in his pouch.
And now this is an interesting thing, because a lot of times it's kind of assumed that parties are sharing and all this, but if you're not, that's fine. Just make sure you're paying attention, you know.
We're just waiting on Reap to die so we can take all this stuff.
That is kind of an old school thing too. So what's going on in this room? Now that you have the torchlight, you can see there's the general debris, the rats, the rat nesting. There's that shelf that's hanging crooked on the northern wall. There's that tarnished brass shield hanging on that southern wall behind Reap. And then in the northwest, up along, kind of splattered up on the ceiling, there's some old dried blood and actually some new blood as well, courtesy of Reap. And what's Reap's HP situation? 4 out of 10?
4, yeah, sorry.
That's no good. Do you guys know how you can heal without magic in this game?
We can rest for a full day and heal 1d3. I'm assuming we'd have to eat a ration.
Do you know where that's at in the book?
Yeah, it's under damage and healing.
There
in
it
the corner.
is. Each full day of complete rest, you get 1d3 back. A day of rest means a 24-hour period a day in game where you just rest. So yeah, you'd have to eat and everything. By the way, just for mental logistics, if your characters have been in the dungeon 310 minutes, that's 6, 12, 18. That's like 5 hours. So I would imagine you could you could definitely do like a 16 plus hour day in the dungeon, but then around that stage you're gonna need to sleep. You feel me? So what's going on turn 31?
I think Milas and Roland are going to come out and confer with Darcy about the corpse that she found.
Reeve's gonna take a look at this shield on the wall. How big is this thing? Like normal size, or is this larger than like a coat of arms on the wall?
Kind of like a coat of arms. It's tarnished beyond recognition, though. Go ahead and move Milos where you want him to be. Let's keep Roland in there for now because he's holding the light for Reap.
There we go.
What does Milos confer with Darcy about?
They're going to talk about the corpse in the room that she found. If there was anything that identified them, if they were who we were looking for, Jen?
Well, it was an elf.
Are you talking in Elven?
Wow, we'll just talk in common.
You don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
Well, it definitely wasn't Joan. I'm pretty sure Joan's not an elf.
Would Milos
Do you
even know?
remember?
Because he wasn't there whenever you got the quest.
Yeah, but you guys have been, you're hired, and like you've been traveling together. I'm sure at some point she told you what's going on.
Yeah.
Just completely in the dark. You're like, oh, okay.
We're searching for something in somewhere.
He was wearing a interesting necklace, though. It was a hammer. Looked like the hammer that was on that Zinvin fella's. I don't remember where the hammer was.
And it's all, you know, the name of the god too. Like, since you both of you as elves would at least be like, I would say past, you would know that that's a god. If you pull up his sheet in the graveyard, it's got a link to the.
Thank you.
In the overworld, what kingdoms are fighting each other?
Yeah, the overall kind of plot here, and is that the kingdom of Alest is kind of on a holy crusade to tame the savage races, dwarves, elves, and the like. The king is King Warder II. It's called the Sublime War.
I feel that both of these, even though they're half elves, would definitely, if they're following a religion, would know that this.
Who's a half elf?
I thought Darcy was.
No,
Darcy was full elf.
They're both.
Darcy's all elf.
Okay, so he's
the
elf
only
class.
yeah the only difference
She's
is
elf.
he's running the class from LL. So she's
Well,
an
I feel
elf
like-
fighter and he's an elf. Yeah.
That both of these would know that this is the patron saint of war. They would definitely.
Yeah, give
know.
him the lesson. Since you played Zimfim before he died.
The ghost of Zenvin comes in.
You don't have
That was
to
quick.
you don't have to go super deep, but give him the cliff notes.
That Vandria is not typically followed except for in times of war. So whenever elves go to war in mass, however, they turn to help. They turn to her for help and guidance. And she's the elven patron saint of warhammers.
Boom.
Well, then Darcy says that Dead Elf had an interesting necklace. The mark of the god Vandria.
It's the goddess.
Goddess. Yes, Andrea.
The elf was also tortured to death, as you could say.
Reap, upon hearing you heard something shiny, necklace, jewelry.
Well,
Steps
hold
out.
up. You were looking at the shield, right? We
Yeah,
never
but
talked
yeah, these
about
guys
that.
Talking about it. I'm
Okay.
done.
I was gonna ask how you were looking at the shield. Like, do you take it off
He
the
just looked at
wall?
it to see how big it was, because when he walked in the room, he just noticed there was something on the wall next to him.
Okay.
So after that, he turns around, and realizes, oh, it's just like just an old rusted shield on the wall. No real use to him. And then he hears silver necklace, and he's like, "What?"
All right.
I don't believe Darcy said silver necklace, though, did she?
I thought you said silver warhammer around his neck.
Just smell it. He's a lewd whore.
I thought I was very specific in just calling it an interesting necklace, an interesting mark.
No, I thought you said silver.
I don't think I dropped the S word in there.
Reap heard
Deliberately.
wrong. So
He turns around, walks
Deliberately.
back, and looks at the shield again. Is there anything of note on the shelves in here?
Nah, anything on them the way it's like slanted would have fell down into the.
Okay.
The only thing left in there of note is the shield hanging on the wall. But as far as mechanics, you can move all the way up to your full movement and everything here in turn 31.
Darcy's gonna put out her torch.
Good way to conserve it. We'll play for about another hour, so it's already about 2 hours. Holy shit!
Roland's torch should be running out this turn or next.
Roland's torch is gonna run out not the next turn, but the one after that, turn
Okay.
33.
Are we ready for turn 32?
If we all rest on turn 32, and we light a new torch on turn 33, then we're good to go.
Well, he's gonna strike off his lantern instead.
So turn 32. It sounds like you're resting, and he's switching to lantern. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, this is like just for your mental lore, you know, your head canon. It's a 10-minute period, so you're checking your weapons, your buckles, you know, maybe
oh yeah, I had that in my mind.
cleaning
whenever I was doing it last turn.
off. You know, you're putting your torch away, lighting the lantern, you know. Maybe, because I remember Roland's the one taking notes in the party itself, because I said that if you're taking a map or anything, you got to actually have a physical item. And so he might be checking over that, you know, putting some type of powder on it so it doesn't run. I don't know. You know what to think. Let me check something. You're safe. Alright. So you're telling me turn 33, you'll be set. You'll be rested, so you got 5 turns till you need to rest again. And you'll be switched to the lantern now. Does that have a different radius?
No, it's still be 30.
Okay.
I like how Roland's multi-classes farmer.
And during turns, you don't have to do like the declare thing like in combat. You know, it's a little more loose. Combat's tighter because things can happen simultaneously.
Is Roland wearing a cape?
I think so.
Is Reap down to keep adventuring with 4 HP?
For the time being, he definitely makes note of it as he's walking by.
I'm just
Milos and
it's your
Roland.
choice as a player.
Oh yeah, I mean Reap can leave at any time.
Well, no, Reap's in the party, all right. You're not just gonna abandon these people. You're growing to like them. They're useful. Anyway. What's going on in turn 33?
Darcy wants to head back to the room with the dead elf.
Talk it out.
Anyone coming with me?
Nah, you gotta work to. Well, first, Darcy thinks she's the leader, so act like the leader if you think you are.
Darcy doesn't want to be the leader.
And number two, you guys gotta work together a little bit, or you're gonna get eaten by old school. I mean, do what thou wilt, but.
Darcy says, want to go back and check out that dead body? Looks like there could be some good loot in that room, too.
I always like to see dead elves.
Say that again, Zeus.
You advertise it so well. You want to go check out that dead body? I think there's some sticks in there we can poke it with.
Well, Reap heard dead elf, so he's like, yeah, I'd love to see these. Let's go.
Yeah.
And as we're walking through, Reap needs to clean his sword, so he grabs Roland's cape and wipes it off. Cleans the blood off of it.
He only
Rude.
has a robe.
His pudgy fat
That'll
man
work.
to do about it.
Man, I feel like Reap is lawful evil. Right? I'm just being real.
No, he's lawful neutral.
All right.
He's a code of strength.
I guess he hasn't really done anything that evil yet. He's just kind of a dick.
What's the quote? I may be an asshole, but I'm not 100% a dick.
Yeah, we actually just watched Guardians like yesterday. That's the full movement you guys have in turn 33.
What? Oh yeah, 30. Doop doop.
Okay. So turn 34. You gotta rest in 4 turns. And I gotta do a little checkaroni of my own here.
Calm your horses, Darcy. Go back.
Go ahead and do your movements here. But there's an encounter once you're done.
Oh, we were all together. So. I don't think I can actually.
The first time, would you believe that 34 turns into this run, this is the first time you've rolled a random encounter in the dungeon and not a pre-planned one?
And it's a wandering mind flayer.
Yeah, actually, yeah, on my level 1 dungeon, I've got mind flayers on there. Yep. And dragons.
And beholders.
Reap proceeds to retreat from the dungeon.
With all the loot.
Okay.
Reap paid the iron price.
Okay.
And the blood price. So
Let's hold tight here mentally.
Roland has no life force.
So that's 70 feet, eh? Okay. Let me search my janky token library here. Okay. Though they may actually not get to you till next turn. Let me see how fast they can go.
How much HP does Roland have, Zeus?
That's classified.
Clearly, everybody else has numbers.
He has 5.
Oh, they actually perfectly can. Nice. Alright, so the last thing is who wants to check for surprise on your side?
Want to roll a d6?
You just roll a d6, yep. And on a 1 or 2, you're surprised.
Damn.
So they get the drop on you. They get a free turn. Yo,
What are those things you didn't?
I'm about to tell you.
Oh Lord.
Oh wait, when I rolled a 2 with the rats, I surprised them.
Wait, let me double check then. Maybe I'm wrong.
Which way is it?
Maybe
now?
I'm just high.
It's the torch that doesn't have life.
Wait, earlier you rolled.
Oh, okay.
You rolled a 1 earlier or something?
I rolled a 2 earlier when we
Oh.
checked for surprise.
Well, you're lucky. You should have been surprised.
Oh, well, you told me I surprised the rats.
Yeah, well, I had it wrong. So now we have it right. And the grace of God helped you out
Okay.
on that one.
Why did you use it on the rats?
Right? Okay, so.
Hey, what are you doing turning around?
There.
You don't know anything's happening. We're being surprised.
I'm an elf. I've got big ears.
I have a feeling. Don't worry, they can only move to there. They're just gonna get a free turn.
I'm zoomed all the way in, and I still can't tell what these things. Like,
Cultists.
I mean, they could look like a humanoid standing up, but then it's like, what is the white ball?
But they've got
I
like
think
a-
they're holding a skull.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, let me
These are tiny men compared to Reap.
roll them some HP up here.
They enter in the room and then gain their health.
Could be a toughie. So during their surprise, yeah, I think they're just gonna rush in. So 5, 10. You can go here.
Is it the Spanish Inquisition?
It's always the Spanish Inquisition.
Wait, was their surprise turn not closing the 70-foot gap?
They're gonna use that turn to run.
Yeah, they're gonna rest for 3 turns now, so we can kill them.
Oh wait, yeah, that was the surprise turn, wasn't it?
Yeah, get out of here, you things. Reap feels something creeping up behind him and says, "You're cheating, go back."
Yeah, so we'd start with initiative. Here, assuming that I would guess that Darcy, after their surprise round is over, would notice that one coming through the doorway. As far as what this encounter is, these are some cultists. I don't have super like lore details about the cult or whatever, but we'll say they've got like kind of tattered moth-eaten. I'm thinking like pale red, like not pink, but like like specifically like a faded red, like it used to be richer. Maybe like moon embroidery, I would say, or maybe even moon masks of some type. And they're wielding short, kind of ornate, but like old and rusted blades. And they're not carrying a light source. They appeared to be coming toward your light source. Does that all make sense? And so declare your actions.
Moving and shooting.
Moving and shooting for Milas, and moving for Roland.
Well, as we start this, Reap shouts, "Hand me the torch."
Lantern.
The
I
lantern
got
now.
the lantern.
You still want it?
Yeah, give me that.
Okay.
So Reap is moving.
So first up we have Roland. And we've got movement step.
He'll move up to Reap and then back near the wall. Hand him the torch.
Okay. Anything else going on?
Lantern.
Lantern.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be the cultist next. They are in a blood rage. They appear to be quite insane. Their eyes you can see through the moon masks. And they're wielding these once ornate, rusty blades with the once ornate, ragged robes. They're not even making intelligible conversation. If anything, they're making sounds and drooling. So that's their movement, and they don't do anything else but melee. So the question here is, Darcy, what's your AC?
5. Well, it's 6 right now because I have my bow out, so I don't have my shield.
Would your shield count as AC in the back?
This game's not that complicated. It's assumed that she's Aaron. It's assumed that in your little 5-foot space, you're kind of turned in all directions throughout your 10 seconds, trying to deflect and all that good shit. Alright, so just so you know, to hit you, I literally need to roll an 11 or higher.
Dang.
What kind of hit do these cultists have? What is this?
So I did hit. For 1 damage. Darcy's forced to fend off the cultist's blade with her bow. She gets cut across the hand while she's doing it. Meanwhile, Reap, you're over there, what, 3 in the armor class department?
Yeah.
I gotta roll a 14 up to hit you. Reap is able to deflect the cultist's spindly armed blows. Darcy's turn.
Darcy's gonna switch out her bow for her short sword and her shield.
Alright, so yeah, in combat when you're switching weapons like that, since it's a 10-second round, you do gotta have to kind of drop it in the space.
Okay.
You wouldn't really have time to like shoulder and get it in, but you could drop it and shing, pull out a blade.
Yeah, and my shield.
Got it.
And then she's gonna melee attack.
Alright, so no movement, none of the other, just right to melee. Got it. You're up against, I'll just tell you guys the armor class, it's a lot easier that way. You're going to be up against armor class 7, actually. So the good news is they have the same AC as a rat.
So I need a 12.
Just take a look at the attack table, but
Yeah,
Yes.
I have it on my character sheet. I need a 12 or above. Damn.
he evades. So it's Milas and Reap at the same time. Any movement?
Milas will
Yep.
move.
Then I don't think there's gonna be anything else other than melee, right? Well, actually, no. You're gonna do a missile attack, right?
I think seeing the mad-eyed cultist, you might change that to a sleep. Sorry, a sleep.
Oh, you think about casting a spell this turn?
Yeah,
What was your original declaration?
that was a missile attack.
All right, that actually was spell. Nah, that would have to be called from the start.
Okay.
Cause I think does it affect your initiative, or is that only in second edition? Yeah, there's no speed factors or anything in this.
Yeah.
No, I could let you do it. I could let you change to sleep. Yeah, that's fine. So, it went movement and then missile attacks, which you didn't do, but now it's spells and saving throws.
So sleep is page 39 of the basic rules. Magical slumber to come upon creatures with 4+1 hit die or fewer. The caster may only affect one creature if it has 4+1 hit die. The spell will otherwise affect 2d8 hit die of creatures. I'm assuming are lower than.
And there's no save, right?
Yeah.
Because it'll say if you can save, right? Yeah, some spells it says like stone to flesh. A saving throw versus petrify is permitted to resist the transformation.
Who's casting this? Milas?
Yeah.
So yeah, you see the range, the duration, all that. You just have to roll how much HD, right? That you affect. What's fucked up though is the lowest you can roll is 2, right?
Yeah.
And they only have 2 HD.
But what if I want to sleep reap too?
Yeah, I mean you could, I guess. He might be mad when he woke up. Damn sleep is good in old school, is it not?
Yes, it sure is.
So you calculated the duration there, right? 44. So 12 rounds, right? It's in rounds.
Yep.
And
Well, 4d4 turns, it says.
it says
Yep.
turns? No, if it says turns, it means turns.
That's turns then.
So they're unconscious for 120 minutes, so 2
hours.
Yeah. I know we've been at it 2 hours, but you guys are trying to go to bed like now, right? Because I feel like maybe that might be the perfect place to end it, because then you can brainstorm if you want to like just kill him or interrogate him or what for next time. Do you want to do that? Wrap it up right there? Or do you want to keep going?
Is Reap included in the sleep?
Reap is not included in the sleep.
What are your thoughts? I'm down to keep going too. I just remember you both mentioned trying to go to bed at, it's 11 past, like 12 past 11 right now for you guys, and that's when you're trying to go to bed. So I just remembered that. So this would be a perfect time if you do want to go to bed right now.
Yeah, I probably should. I mean, I'll have to be up around 5 for work, so.
It's all good. It's a perfect time to wrap it up. 2 hours is better than no hours. You're all caught up on your notes and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. What about the ambience? Did you like that? Having that going in the background? You probably forgot it was even there.
I
Yeah,
didn't even hear it.
it's still pretty low, so
So turn it up more. I could hear it pretty good, but
Yeah, I could hear it.
I can turn it up a bit more in the
it's
future.
definitely there, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't want it to overpower us, but I'll still fuck with it. But
Do I have to turn on a setting to be able to hear the
Maybe.
ambient noise?
or maybe it's just quiet.
it's pretty low. I'm sure you noticed like bits of it, but
We'll fiddle with
you
it.
constantly hear.
Hear anything?
But when I was looking through there, they added a lot more better stuff than they had before. So I'll probably start using the in-game stuff now so you guys can hear it too. I'm not really big on music though, even though I played music during the streams. I'd probably do more ambient, like I've got the in-background noise and stuff. That's badass though. I mean, we only did a couple of rooms, but got some loot, got some XP. You've defeated these guys whether or not you kill them too, so let me go ahead and give you the XP for these. It's gonna be 21 XP each. Additionally, I might as well roll the treasure that's on them. One second.
The fact that this changed from torch to lantern put a dent in my plan, but it also is going to work with it.
Alright, so they each are gonna have a whopping. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you now so we don't have to remember for next time, but presumably you'll be going through their pockets at some point. Together, they're going to have a whopping, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 26 copper pieces on them. Can you believe that?
How do I count that for XP?
10 copper? No, wait, 100 copper, right? Is a gold.
1 gold.
So it's
Let me just keep it as 26
0.26.
copper.
I would just wait until you had 100 plus copper and then be like, okay, there's a.
Nope, I'm counting fractions of XP.
If you want to.
Well, every 1 gold is
1 XP.
1 XP. So,
So
they
you
have
can-
0.26 XP.
There you go.
Just use the wallet function in the spreadsheet that I made, and
Fancy. Anyhow, so the next session will begin with you guys have those unconscious. Make sure you note the duration and stuff. It'll be, that was basically immediate. So I would say that we're still in turn 34 when we come back. And you'll have the unconscious cultists where you can immediately kill them and get back to exploring, or you might want to fiddle with them a little bit. I don't know what you'll even be able to get out of them in their insane state. You might want to just kill them while they're down. Do you want to decide to do that now or wait till next time? I think we should wait. Cliffhanger?
Cliffhanger.
Alright, cool. Well, that's that. Get some rest. Thanks for at least... I see, I'd rather get in a little bit than nothing, you feel me? We got a little bit of progress. We'll try to keep it rolling. I think we're going to try to potentially play again on Saturday. Keep going with Broken Blades, right?
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thanks for playing. I'll catch you next time. Alright, y'all. That's going to do it. I know it's a short sesh, but the homies needed to get some rest. And I saw a good opportunity to go ahead and wrap it up right there so they could. So I done it. Appreciate everybody chilling as always for... That was the 4th episode of... For King and Country, some 1980s style Dungeons and Dragons. I'm loving it. I think the players are warming up to it. I foresee good things in this campaign already. Next time we play this, we'll be continuing to delve into the dungeon. This is their baby's first dungeon, I think, ever in the old school style. For these players in particular, so that's pretty dope. Y'all already supported the channel in the best way by hanging out, tuning in, enjoying. If you do want to chip in, you can do so in all the usual ways. But the best way to support is to tune in. Glad you did. I do want to thank these illustrious members of the 420 Club. Let me thank Freeborn Pat, Sabatum, Vodka, Globe 99, and Miller Duo. Big ups to y'all. Appreciate that extra support over on Patreon. No O show tomorrow. Spending that Valentine's Day with the Bean. We got another Fallout 4 session on Thursday. We got Destiny on Friday. Saturday, I'm gonna do, believe, some tabletop once again. We'll be doing our Viking campaign, Dungeon World, Saga of Broken Blades, and I might do Arma 2 as well, like Arma 3, I should say, as well. I meant Arma TOO, but then I realized, anyway, I might do both. Might just stream my balls off Saturday, but at least the very minimum we'll have another tabletop sesh Saturday. I'll post some new dates coming up Sunday and beyond, the usual. That's that. Thanks for chilling. See y'all on Thursday.